desolation and, when he grew up, Pango became a great hunter. After getting revenge on his family, he turned into a bitter creature who continues to harm other animals for pleasure. Just before nightfall, Khumba and his friends arrive in the Valley of Desolation and, after crossing it, find an abandoned farm, where they decide to stop and rest. They are about to drink the water from a fountain when a sheep dressed as a wild sheep comes out of the house and starts chasing them with its fake horns. Knowing that his friends would not accompany him on this trip if they knew that the lake was in the leopard's cave, Khumba decided to hide this information, and now Mama V and Bradley no longer trust him. Hours later, Mama V and Bradley decide to go in the opposite direction and end up being found by the leopard. Pango chases them through the desert and manages to surround them. The feline is looking for Khumba and asks where he has gone, so, in order not to be devoured, the ostrich reveals that his friend is on his way to Nile Mountain. Immediately, Pango goes after him and Mama V says that they must find Khumba before he is devoured. After a few days of walking, the zebras come across some clouds and are relieved to learn that a storm is approaching. At this point, the gang come across a rabbit and the other animals from the sanctuary and discover that they are on their way to meet Khumba. Arriving at the cave, Khumba sees some drawings on the wall and soon realizes that he has found the right place. The zebra then crosses a small passage in search of the lake. Its father tries to go after them, but his body is too big to cross, so the wildebeest uses its horns to try and break the rock. Finally, after weeks of searching the desert for Khumba, Pango manages to find him and remains hidden in the darkness, waiting for the right moment to attack the young zebra. While walking through the cave, Khumba comes across the magical lake and feels that all his efforts to cross the Karoo Desert have paid off. Then, when the cub is about to enter the water to get his reward, he realizes that he doesn't want to be like all the zebras and comes to the conclusion that the color of his coat is something that makes him unique. Just then, Pango appears and tells him about the prophecy that says a zebra with only half of its body striped will be born and make one of the leopards the most powerful animal in the desert. Realizing that he is about to be devoured, Khumba immediately runs away and is chased by the leopard, which, while running at high speed, ends up slipping and knocking down numerous rocks that were supporting the cave. When Pango goes after him, the rock can't support the weight of his body and the feline ends up being crushed. To avoid suffering the same fate as his enemy, the young animal decides to jump into the water and all his friends rush to the lake to rescue him. When Siko approaches his son, he sees Tombi next to him and everyone comes to the conclusion that Khumba is eliminated. Just then, for the first time in years, it starts to rain and, at the same time, another miracle happens. Khumba starts breathing again. Relieved, everyone celebrates the young man's life and Tombi runs to hug him. From that day on, the different species lived together in perfect harmony in the new oasis that had been formed, and Khumba finally began to be seen in a positive light by the other zebras who had despised him. After all this traveling, this group of survivors discovers that the differences between them are precisely what make them stronger.